Hello, writers. Welcome to Writer's Toolshed this week, part 2, where we're going to take a look at sentences. We're going to learn our first template sentence. Remember that template is the idea of a shape that you use to model after. You use it as a guide to cut around to create your thing to match that original template. So our template number 1 is a very famous sentence, Jesus wept, from that great piece of literature, the Bible. And the sentence Jesus wept is the shortest sentence in the entire Bible. And it's pretty much the shortest sentence that a person can possibly make. But it still can pack so much power into just those 2 words. Easy to create this kind of a sentence, but what is its purpose? What is it for? Why would you use this template as part of creating your piece of writing? So we can see 2 possible purposes for why you might want to use a 2-word sentence like this. The first one, maybe you want to surprise the reader. Example, the sky was blue, the sun was shining, the birds were singing in the trees. Joe vomited. We have a complete reversal here. This 2-word sentence completely changed the mood that we had in the beginning because we had a really happy mood. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Joe vomited. And putting it in only 2 words like that has more of a punch, more of a surprise than if we added more words. The second possible purpose could be emphasis. Uh, in the verse from the Bible, Jesus said, "Where have you laid Lazarus?" They said to him, "Lord, come and see." Jesus wept. If you notice, when you read just those 2 words there, it creates kind of a pause after the word wept. They could have written, Jesus wept with all his might, or Jesus wept with feeling, or Jesus wept and then went over to the tomb. But by just putting Jesus wept, it puts this emphasis on what he's doing in that action there. He's crying. And the reader and the writer, they both take a pause to appreciate, like, what does that mean that he's doing this right now? So if you want to create that kind of emphasis, that kind of pause after your word, then you can try using this 2-word sentence. So what does this look like? Your homework this week is you're going to create a lead in to a 2-word sentence. For each of the example sentences below, write a lead in, 1 or 2 sentences that builds up to the 2-word sentence at the end. So we've taken our 5 words that we used from the previous video, brood, crinkle, bolt, emerge, flush, and we've made them into 2-word sentences that follow this template. Clouds brooded. Aluminum crinkled. Paul bolted. Tentacles emerged. Susan flushed. So the goal here is to think about what would create that sense of surprise, or what would create that sense of pause that would cause you to want to use this 2-word sentence. Why are the clouds brooding? What kind of a day is it if the clouds are, thinking about something that happened to them? Um, what would the aluminum be crinkling about? What would it mean? Why would it be significant that there's aluminum crinkling somewhere? Why would Paul be bolting? How would that be surprising? Maybe we lead up in a certain way, and then we thought Paul was going to stay, but then Paul bolted. So let's look at an example here. Example word, squeal. So if I was trying to use squeal as my tool there, the template would go, Courtney squealed, our 2-word sentence. And so here is my lead in that I created. Why is Courtney squealing? Why do we want to emphasize this? Harold brought a small blue box out of his pocket. He opened it slowly while he sank down on one knee. Courtney squealed. So clearly, Harold is proposing here. He has an engagement ring from in that small blue box, and we emphasize Courtney's response. She's so excited that Harold is proposing to her that she creates this squealing sound. Eee. So again, your homework is to create that lead in for each of these 5 sentences so that it makes sense, so that the 2-word sentence works.